Can you believe it? Another trip back to Wales. This time, me, Chris and Zach are heading to Elon Valley and Nash, Oakland wild camping. Going to be cooking, camping, off-roading and just generally having a laugh. Come with us this time and I hope you enjoy the video. So we've just arrived at Nash, Oakland. I was 2.5 hours late and I met Chris and Zach at the pub and now we're heading up to the woods. It's cool to be back here again. I think we're going to be here alone. Haven't said hello to the family yet, but yeah, we're just heading straight up, going to go and find a place. And we've got lots of gates in our way, so just opening the gates now. But yeah, it's great to be here and yeah, it'll be a good first night and then head to Elon tomorrow. If you haven't been, Nash, Oakland really is one of those spots you just have to visit. You get to be on your own, in the woods, no amenities, and you really feel like you're in the wild. It was time to set up camp. Chris and Zach were in the roof tents and I was in the back of Boris. I volunteered to be chef for dinner and breakfast, and I definitely felt like Shauno from 4-wheel drive action. It was great to just catch up after a few months of not seeing each other, no agenda, just have a few beers and put the world to rights. And before long, it was time for bed. It's safe to say we had a pretty slow morning, all quite tired. Zach and Chris were woken up in the middle of the night by a branch falling on Chris's bonnet and had no idea what it was. Thankfully, I was tucked up inside, sound asleep, and didn't wake up. If you've seen my videos before, there's no guessing what I was doing. The classic bacon and scrambled eggs in a wrap. All I can say is don't knock it till you try it, and the boys definitely enjoyed it. Just heading off from Nash, Oakland now. Just got a few clips for ORE with Chris and Zach, and next we're going to do a few lanes here, just a bit around the woodland here, and then head off to Elon Valley, which is a great spot. I'm sure you've either been there or heard of it or seen it in one of my videos, but that's the agenda for today. And then we're going to stay in a pub tonight and yeah, just chill out basically. It's quite nice to just sort of have a really relaxed plan with not too much involved, but it'd be cool to get up there because these guys have never been up to Elon Valley before and it's a nice spot, so yeah, that's what our day holds for us. Not sure if you could hear it there, but Boris obviously has something squeaking going on. Not sure quite what it is. Oh, steady on. Just thought on the way out of Nash, Oakland, we could just explore some of the trails that they've got around the woods, see the other camp spots that there are that we could sort of maybe find for next time, and see if we could come across anything a little bit more difficult than a muddy track. Just up ahead of us, around the corner, there was this left-hander, very sharp, quite steep, obviously can't see it on camera, and excuse me, generally I just tried to make things look a bit more interesting. It's good to get that demand exhaust chirping and get the wheels spinning. Scout is definitely a lot more of a pretty beast than Boris, but still manages this steep little corner easily. Chris is up next in his rebuilt Amazing 110. Look at that, nice and easy.
Look at them crawling it where I was making a mess, spinning the wheels and making loud noises. With a small taste of green laning under our belts and hunger for more, it was time to head to the next location.
He's in the middle again.
We were just teasing Zach for being in the middle of the pack. Every gate, of which there was 3, he was in the middle. I opened them, Chris closed them, so we just had to get him back for that. And finally, as we got to the final one...
Finally, he's done one, Jesus!
When you pay a visit here, you have to do their water crossing. We did it a few times.
It's quite cool, it's quite a good one there, it's not too bad, is it? Now it's Zach's turn to do the little water crossing here, it's not too bad. Hey, there you go. Yeah, water up over the bonnet.
I have to say, with all that mud collected from the campsite, proper soggy mud, it was good to just get the chassis and tyres and wheels washed off before we head off onto the main road. Easy peasy really, just a bit of a wheel wash, but fun nevertheless, and pretty cool to have it at a campsite. So it was time to pay up, say goodbye to the owners, and then head back through the water one last time.
So right now we're heading on the main road between Nash, Oakland and Elon Valley, which is great. It's about midday now, and we'll just have to see what we're going to get up to really. We've had a really good day so far. As you saw, we just hit all the boards, did a little bit of the few lanes that were in the woods at Elon, not too much, and yeah, we're just on our way now, which is great. And I love the valleys, you know, it's beautiful around here. You just feel like you're on a proper adventure when you're around this part of the world, and it's a fantastic place to be, and it's great to do it with a good friend. So yeah, looking forward to getting to Elon and having a little bit of an explore.
The feeling of being in the middle of nowhere, bridges, dams, reservoirs, green lanes and amazing views. Elon Valley has it all, and I just love bringing people here that haven't been before. I still remember the first time that I came here and I was amazed. It's mandatory you get a photo here and also a great thumbnail. As you reach the top of one of the valleys, you get to this reservoir with an amazing gravel track around the outside, little narrow bridges which take some people by surprise, but it's just a beautiful place to explore. It's not often you get traffic up on here. It's great to be followed by 3 defenders, have a chat with them, and all get abused by a dog walker. There's a great shot of Chris's truck by Zach. Zach owns Scout, of Scout the Defender on YouTube, so do check him out. He provided quite a few clips of Boris for this edit, so I just want to thank him for that, and make sure you go and check his channel out in the description below.
It's a cool spot, isn't it?
It's not a difficult green lane, it is a cool gravel track, and the beauty definitely is the USP for this. It's time to head back down to the other green lane and say goodbye to this great spot. Just below that previous lane, a short drive later, you get to another track, starting at a farm and ending at another one, running alongside the river, and next to the road you've got a green lane, starting with 2 gates and a river crossing. It's more challenging, bumpy, with water crossings, but it's really good fun.
Well, shutting the gate's a bit of a thing, so what we could do is all go through, and then I'll reverse with someone holding into the...
If you heard that correctly, that was, we'll all go through, then I'll reverse back with someone on the car. Just keep that in mind for later. This truck is always pride of place at the shows. It's good to see it's also capable. Covered in ORE bits. Check the description down below to find anything you need. Who's that hanging on? It's me. No, I didn't mind doing it. My feet got a little bit wet, had to hold on to the hinge. Of the 4 times I've been to Elon, this is the 2nd time I've done this lane. It's nice and open, but still quite challenging. For the other guys that actually have good paint jobs, it doesn't scratch them down the sides like the Devon lanes do, but it's still a good challenge with a few rock steps to drop down, a few water crossings, and it's just good fun with a good view. Can't get over how good the Demand exhaust sounds. Zach has one too behind me, and they just sound amazing. I didn't have a camera facing forward for that bit. There's a left lane, it was a lot deeper than I expected, didn't go in with any power, but still came out.
Did you see that? It was so deep.
It's been a little while since I've been on a trip like this. It was really great to come out with the guys, just be in the middle of nowhere, no real agenda, and just use the trucks as they're meant to be. Boris was actually away from the house for about a month at this point, and when you've not sort of driven it, you get to it, it's rusty, lots of stuff to do, you sort of get disheartened, and trips like this, just being able to use the trucks on these amazing little gravel roads, just really gets your head back into the game of just how good these trucks are, how much of a privilege it is to own these and go on adventures. And I'm just really excited for the rest of the year, the shows and other trips that we're going to be doing.
So Chris is about to hit this rock step. Whee! Someone's put loads of rocks in here, which is really good. Equals it out a bit. No challenge at all. It's a really cool lane. I've never done it going up, actually. I'd quite like to do it the other way around. I've only done it coming down this way, and that would be a bit of a challenge, but that's good fun, that. Look at these 3 trucks in this environment. Brilliant, isn't it? Ease yourself down it. Hey. bit of control down that one. Very rough.
Down through the final sheep field and you emerge in a farm. It's a little bit of a challenge trying to work out how to leave the farm without entering any of their other yards or barns, but you get out and you find yourself back on the main road.
So there we go, we are back down from the top of Elon. We've done the lane as you just saw, the top lane as well, and the guys really like it here. Just nice to show people it. It really does feel like you're absolutely out in the middle of nowhere, and it's just a fantastic place to come. So yeah, just heading back down now. I'm not sure what the plan is now, what we're doing. It's about 5:30, so probably time to sort of start wrapping up, and we're going to be staying in a town just nearby, which would be great. So yeah, just heading back now, and literally as I'm looking now on the way out, blue sky, look at that. That is really cool. It's been rainy all day. It's always rainy when I'm up here. I think of the 4 times I've been here, it was sunny once, but I guess it all adds to the sort of moodiness of it all, doesn't it? So cool.
So after this we head back down into the town and we stayed at a pub that night. I had such a good time, and the next morning it was time to head home. After those gravel tracks and clay and muddy lanes, it was time to give Boris a proper wash, first at Tesco and then finished at home. I'm sure everyone has their methods when it comes to cleaning cars. Everyone seems to be an expert. I definitely don't claim to be. I just try and get most of the debris off first, then go over with the foam brush and make sure there's lots of nice suds all over it. I find that if you're just, jet washing the car, you seem to get loads of the mud off, and it looks great when it's wet. Dries off and there's loads of stuff left over. I'm sure a lot of people have had the same sort of situation. I just like to come to the supermarket first to give it a good clean, good sort of get everything off, not get the driveway really muddy. When I get back, get the bucket and some microfibers out with some soap and just give it a proper good clean and finish it off when you get back. But just doing this first just means that you don't get everything just absolutely coated when you get back home. I'm not sure if you're like me, but I definitely enjoy watching sort of detailed videos. I know this isn't absolutely caked in mud, but it's nice to just sort of watch people get to work and just sort of transform their truck a little bit. I like to do it every now and then. Most of the time you get a comment from someone saying, oh, they're meant to be dirty, but I do agree, when you're out and about and you've got it dirty, it does look good like that, but I feel looking after it well and stopping it from getting too rusty like mine is always a good idea. As you saw, I didn't actually use the tent in Wales, but as it was sunny the day I got back, it had been closed for the whole winter. I thought it was time to get it out in the sun, get all the flaps open, give it a nice sort of wipe down, and make sure it's nice and dry for the next season. Seeing Chris and Zach with theirs definitely made me want to get back in mine. Mud really did manage to get in a lot of places, obviously up in the cabin where your feet go was bad, but also the carpet under your feet in the actual sleeping area, and even on the rear table. Managed to get everything out, give it a good wipe, give it a clean, and also while I was there I thought I would organise these sort of storage containers, remove some of the food that's been in there for a little while, replenish that, and just give everything a little bit of a neaten up.
So not too long ago I made this little bracket on the back here, which is this wooden piece. I don't know if I showed it before, but it's sort of a sort of quick design just to try and keep this sort of attached to there, because it did sort of fall down quite a bit. I used a piece of the elastic there to hold the pillow to it as well. That elastic used to just go along the whole thing and try and keep the wood and the cushion towards the back. So what I've done is just made this long piece with a loop underneath. So what you do, you pull that, and then on here there's a hole, and you use that long piece to feed it through the hole like that, and then as you pull the loop through, you put this piece of dowel through like that, and then the loop holds it to the wall. And even though it's not the most neat thing, it is when you put the cushion down, and it does really hold it up well. And then that piece of elastic holds that there. I don't like this. I think I'd rather have like Velcro on the back of this, but you know, if you've got the blanket on it, it holds there and you can still lean on it and it just doesn't move around. So that's a little thing I just thought I'd show you.
So here you are. I thought I'd show you a little bit of a before and after. And with that, the cleaning is done and the trip is over. I hope you enjoyed this adventure and the video that came from it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.